Hey, so I just finished watching Boss Level, and it was really good, way better than I thought it would be. The opening had me a little bit worried, because it didn't seem as much fun as I was hoping it would be. The action felt a little dull, and the humor wasn't landing for me as well. But then it picked up after like the opening sequence, and it kind of had that whole cliche like uh Bob O'Reilly type opening thing that like those mid 2000s movies would open with. It felt like kind of dated the opening to the movie especially, and it does have that sort of B grade action flick movie to this. Although I would say that feels more like an 80s action movie, kind of like that sort of feel to it, where it's like very stupid. But it ended up being way more fun than I was anticipating. I ended up really enjoying myself with it. Even though the opening was like a little slow getting to the fun parts, it took like 15 minutes before I was able to really get into it. My only real complaint is that I thought the ending was gonna go a different, more meaningful direction than it did, and the movie kind of ends weirdly open-endedly. uh I thought it was gonna end up being like a commentary on like loss and like having to accept that, but and how you can't change the past, but no, it didn't go in that direction at all. It definitely ends with like before the ending actually happens, if that makes sense. Like the story's incomplete by the time the ending happens. Like you don't know what happens to all the characters. It ends a little too early. Like it's the case of like you either ended a little too early or ended a little too late. Either would be fine for me if it went on a little bit longer, or stopped a couple minutes earlier would have been fine with me, bizarrely. But it was just really weird the moment it stopped at. uh I feel like I would have to go into spoilers if I wanted to address what that was, but I think I'm fine like saying it there. Like the last attempt, they show a couple of attempts extra than what they need to. And if they really wanted to complete the story, they would have to show one or two more attempts. And it's really weird the state that they left it in. They do like explain like probably what's gonna happen after the movie finishes, but you don't have 100% certainty, so it's weird. Like you can kind of guess, but you know. I think I thought I was gonna give it a 7.25 at the beginning of the movie, but I think I'll give it a 7.75 out of 10. It's just we've been getting a lot of time loop movies, and while this one does have like the typical gritty but lighthearted uh action movie vibe with it, and yeah, like the title suggests, it's very video game inspired, maybe a little too much in some areas to the point where you might wince once or twice. It's still very fun and very recommendable, especially for like pandemic viewing that you can just hop onto a streaming service like Hulu and watch. It's a very fun movie to just watch on Hulu, and for it being only 90 minutes, I think that's fine. It definitely works as like a way to waste 90 minutes. It's very fun and disposable like that. It feels like a fun way to do that. So yeah, I would recommend it. Great cast too. I didn't even realize Naomi Watts was in it.